So, another day, another attempt by the British press to paint Prince Harry as a villain. The latest story being spun that Harry is planning a so-called revenge ploy against King Charles, using a Netflix documentary about his late mother, Princess Diana, timed around the 30th anniversary of her death. Now let's break this down. In the media, a single word can define a person's story before we even hear it. Consider the word revenge. It's sharp, cold, and loaded with judgment. When the media labels Prince Harry's actions as revenge, it's not just reporting, it's framing a narrative. This word has been used repeatedly to describe Harry's decision to share his story, especially about his mother, Princess Diana. Headlines turn his actions into a battle, casting him as the vengeful son and the royal family as the wounded party. This framing sells papers and generates clicks, but it oversimplifies a complex situation. It encourages us to pick sides, to see villains and victims, rather than understanding the real motivations at play. The word revenge primes us to expect conflict, not healing or truth. Every action Harry takes is filtered through this lens. His words become weapons, his memories ammunition. The public is drawn into a supposed family war, forgetting these are real people with real pain. Before we even listen to Harry, we're told how to feel. The word revenge has already done its work, but is this fair, or is it a narrative designed to provoke, not to inform? We must ask, does this word reveal the truth or obscure it? The power of language is immense. Let's not let a single word define an entire story. Sometimes the real story is far more human than the headlines suggest. What if we set aside the word revenge? What if Harry's actions are about preservation, not attack? For Harry, telling his mother's story is a natural, deeply personal act, one complicated by her global fame. Diana's life and death were public property, her story shaped by strangers and institutions. Harry isn't rewriting history, he's adding his own chapter, offering a first-hand account. This isn't vengeance, it's testimony, a son reclaiming his mother's memory from distortion. Imagine watching the world misdefine your parent while you're expected to stay silent. The urge to speak comes from love and a need for accuracy, not malice. Harry's voice balances an ecosystem dominated by the press and royal insiders. To call this revenge ignores the love and loyalty behind it. It's an act of bearing witness, ensuring his mother's truth isn't lost. There's a glaring double standard at play. For decades, the press dissected every detail of Diana's life, claiming it was in the public interest. But when Harry shares his own story, he's branded a traitor. The same outlets that profited from his family's pain now condemn him for speaking. The message, we can tell your story, but you can't. This isn't about privacy, it's about control. The press and royal establishment have long dictated the narrative. When Harry speaks, he disrupts that control, becoming his own narrator. Outsiders' speculation is called journalism. An insider's truth is called betrayal. This contradiction reveals who really holds the power over public perception. The real threat isn't what Harry says, it's that he's finally the one saying it. To understand the tension, we must revisit history. Charles and Diana's marriage was no fairy tale. It was complicated, shadowed by Camilla Parker Bowles. Diana's pain was real and well documented. After her death, the monarchy worked hard to rehabilitate Charles and Camilla's image, focusing on their love story and future roles. The past was quietly set aside for the sake of the monarchy's future. When Harry speaks of his mother, he reopens wounds the institution once closed. His words threaten decades of careful image management. It's not that his truth is false, it's that it's inconvenient. Revisiting Diana's unhappiness casts a shadow over the current reign. For an institution built on public goodwill, this is a real challenge. Harry's testimony reminds us that history is messy and old truths still have power. Amid the media storm, the real person gets lost. The narrative of conflict overshadows Harry's years of charitable work, his advocacy for veterans, mental health and children. His dedication to well-child and other causes is rarely front-page news. These are not empty gestures, but consistent acts of compassion. At charity events, we see a side of Harry that's rarely highlighted, a man deeply committed to making a difference. Yet, positive stories are buried while family drama dominates. The media's selective focus does a disservice to Harry and the causes he champions. We miss the substance, distracted by the drama. To truly understand someone, we must look beyond the headlines to their quiet, consistent actions. It takes courage to speak your truth against powerful institutions. Harry could have chosen silence, enjoying privilege and comfort. Instead, he broke with tradition, prioritizing personal truth over protocol. Like his mother Diana, he chose to speak out, connecting with those who feel unheard. This isn't destruction, it's evolution, challenging the system to be more transparent and human. By sharing his struggles, Harry has helped destigmatize mental health. His vulnerability on a global stage is a powerful message. The personal cost is immense. Public criticism, family rifts, relentless media attacks. Yet he persists, believing that truth, however painful, is more constructive than silence. This courage is often misunderstood, but it defines his journey. Speaking out is not easy, but it can be transformative. In a world of constant headlines, the real story is about family, grief, and the search for truth. Our challenge is to look past sensationalism and see the people at the heart of the story, to see a son protecting his mother's memory, a family under immense pressure, and institutions that sometimes forget the individuals within. If we do this, we move beyond the narrative of revenge to a more meaningful conversation about mental health, media, and authenticity. Truth can be disruptive, but it also heals and allows for new growth. Perhaps Harry's journey reflects a wider shift toward valuing personal truth and well-being. His story can inspire us to be more compassionate and less quick to judge. This isn't just about royalty, it's about our own capacity for understanding. We can choose empathy over easy conflict. In the end, truth is not a weapon, but a guide toward greater peace. That's it for today's episode. What do you think about this so-called revenge ploy story? Do you see it for what it is, a smear tactic? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more truth-telling on Meghan and Harry Tales. Until next time, I'm Adrian. Thanks for watching.